مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا.
It's very common practice, whether we Muslim or non-Muslim, as a human. Pakistan-India conflict, they spread the rumors about each other's country, and they speak ill of each other country, Jews and Arabs. Now, they understand that Judaism is a faith where Muslims and Jews have lived forever, always in peace. Muslim never persecuted Jewish people. It's not a matter of a faith issue, but the rumors are that Palestinians are anti-Jews. Actually, when 1948, when the British, with the Balfour Treaty, was bring European exiled Jews to Palestine to settle down, giving them a country to live. But that was on the land of Palestinians, and that was the conflict. And they didn't come in for just simply being there. They just came in to take over the country, and whatever is going on, world knows. I don't need to spend time to explain. Reality is that it is injustice. Children are being killed and butchered and murdered and apartheid and all that. Nobody has a right to do anything of the Palestinians. They are living in actually concentration camp, if I may use lack of a better word, because they're not allowed to leave the country. Nobody's allowed to visit them, and they are rationed for their food and water and drink. And whenever Israel wants, they can cut down their water, food, and nutrition, as we could see that the people are suffering. And they do fishbowl shooting. I mean, they do carpet bombing, and there are 2 million, 3 million people are there, which has been in Raqqa. What is going on today is very sad situation, and it does not reflect on all the Jewish people, by the way. Islam says, "Minhum al-mu'minuna wa aktharuhum fasiqun." Many of them are believer, and they are righteous people. We have seen the true believer in Christianity and Judaism, they condemn such act of prosecution and suffering. So as a Muslim, we support the truth. We do not believe in any child, any woman, and any elderly person or their houses of worship should be injured or demolished. And this is all the news. They are spreading out that Palestinians are savage and murderers, and then we see people act on them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Oh, you who believe, when a person comes to you with the news, verify it." The biggest victim of a war is truth, and biggest suffering is the children and women and innocent people. And Islam forbid people, by the way, which is today's world, they say collateral damage. It's actually, in Islam, it's forbidden to hurt anybody who is not involved in engagement of this thing. With the bombing, a lot of people who are not involved in the conflict get injured and lose their life and suffer. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in this particular verse that beware that among you is a prophet. So, and he's present. So if you obey in many matters, if he started obeying you in many matters because of your lack of wisdom and understanding of the matter, because prophet is divinely guided, and when he is taking something in his decision, you just accept it, and when he is not there, then do the things which Allah and his prophet have commanded you. So one have to be very mindful of these activities when it comes to the matter of decision making and movement. So this is where we are told that be obedient, and those who you have made in charge, let them be making decision, but we have to all stand by it. And the person should not make a unilateral decision. As Prophet himself always used to do consultation with everybody. In other words, he would consult with people who are with him, his community. Any time, like in the battle of Uhud, everybody decided to go out. Prophet did not want to go out and fight, but when everybody said, Prophet took their opinion. When people, when the battle of Trench, they wanted to defend Medina by staying in the Medina, and they digged a trench to protect the invasion, which was the Persian way of war, and Salman al-Farsi advised him. So Prophet taught us that we should do consultation, and that's what we should do. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us the guidance how to behave in the matter of decision, in general matter, when people come with the news. But when there is a proof, like somebody scientifically have definitely confirmed the moon is sighted, there's no need to fight over it. And if it's a Muslim and it's give the testimony, and science, once you have a proof of it, there's no need for have the testimony to be doubted. In other words, if it's confirmed that sun and moon is born, we should take it, and calculation and confirmation, and a picture is there, whether it's a Muslim or non-Muslim, because now it is a proof, scientific proof is there. But we are always fighting on these matters. We have to be more united in the matter. Let's listen to verse number 9.
وإن طائفتان من المؤمنين اقتتلوا فأصلحوا بينهما فإن بغت إحداهما على الأخرى فقاتلوا التي تبغي حتى تفيء إلى أمر الله فإن فاءت فأصلحوا بينهما بالعدل وأقسطوا إن الله يحب المقسطين إنما المؤمنون إخوة فأصلحوا بين أخويكم واتقوا الله لعلكم ترحمون يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا يسخر قوم من قوم عسى أن يكونوا خيرا منهم ولا نساء من نساء عسى أن يكن خيرا منهن ولا تلمزوا أنفسكم ولا تنابزوا بالألقاب بئس الاسم الفسوق بعد الإيمان ومن لم يتب فأولئك هم الظالمون.
O you who believe, no men should ever scoff at other men. Maybe the latter are better than the former, nor should women ever scoff at other women. Maybe the latter women are better than the former ones. And do not find fault with one another, nor call one another with bad nicknames. Bad is the name of sinfulness after embracing faith. If anyone does not repent, then such people are the wrongdoers.
So verse number 7, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing وَعَلِمُوا أَنَّ فِيكُمْ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ. Then be aware that Prophet of Allah is among you. لَا يُعْطِيكُمْ فِي كَثِيرٍ مِنَ الْأَمْرِ لَعِنَّتُمْ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ حَبَّبَ إِلَيْكُمُ الْإِيمَانَ وَزَيَّنَّهُ فِي قُلُوبِكُمْ وَكَرَهَ عَلَيْكُمُ الْكُفْرَ وَالْفُسُوقَ وَالْعِصْيَانَ أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الرَّاشِدُونَ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding that if he obeyed you, because they used to come and suggest what they want to do, that he says, Allah says that if a person who does not understand this wisdom and political issues and the sensitivity or the seriousness of the matter, if prophets start taking advice from every one of you, then he will not be able to balance you, and he is guided divinely, and he is wise and intelligent and smart enough. He's a perfect person being. So you should listen to him rather than telling him what to do. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, but Allah has endeared to you to that have a faith, so that you believe in Prophet is the mercy of Allah. So whoever accepts Islam, it did not do favor to Allah, is actually favored upon himself, that he will not be suffering an eternal punishment of the hellfire for disbelieving, and made it beautiful in your hearts and made detestable for you to disbelief and sin and disobedience. Such people are rightly guided. So do not go into argument and doubting about that. Whatever Prophet says, sometimes you understand, sometimes you do not understand. For better it is that you accept it, and since you have believed, Allah has have a mercy upon you. So stay calm and quiet about it, and be pleased and be happy and submissive. It says, Fadlam min Allah. It's the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and blessing. Wa ni'matan. Wallahu alimun hakim. Indeed, Allah is all-knowing and all-wise. So this is the advice for that when you have Prophet among you, and Prophet has given you decree, and whatever is mentioned in the Quran from Allah and Prophet have mentioned in the Hadith, these are the two sources of guidance for a believer. And this is how the number one is Quran, number two is the Hadith of Prophet. And there are issues when something was before not allowed, later on was allowed, something was before was allowed and later on was stopped or commanded by Allah to not to do or stop doing it. All these are being explained in the hadith in the details. Like Allah commands us to perform salah, but the details how to perform salah is the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. And then Allah commands us to fast, and how do we fast? The Prophet taught us. So that's why we need to come to the life and Prophet's hadith. So this is how it is. And when there is a two group of believers fight with each other, well, how do we reconcile? This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is guiding us. If two group of believers fight each other, seek reconciliation between them by telling the good about each other. That's where you lie. And if you have to lie in the sense that somebody who says, I hate this person, and you say, no, I went there and he was talking good about you. So that will soften their heart. And then when you go to the other party and tell them he was listening and he was talking good about you. So that way, when that situation is good, then you bring them together and make reconciliation and make friends among them. And one of the three places where you can lie is this one, that you can talk good about a person, other person hates, so that he will have softness in his heart about that person. So fight the one that commits aggression and until they come back to Allah's command. So what should you do? The companion asked that, what should we do about the person who is wrong? Prophet says, explain to him and try to correct him. If he does not, then you should stand up together to fight against him. And so if it comes back, seek reconciliation between them and fairness and maintain justice. So if the person who is aggressor, who is not listening and who is not following, who is on the wrong side, then you should fight him. Islam allow us to fight a Muslim for the good cause. And this is where Prophet companion, when we see that Ali and Muawiyah radiallahu anhu, when they have a dispute and matter, Ali radiallahu anhu was on the truth, as Prophet foretold us. And that's why we believe in Prophet command, and Ali radiallahu anhu was justice and was on the right and correct side. And Prophet said in his hadith, he will fight with my ummah, believers of my faith. It means my companions. Among them there will be those, he will fight with them as I fight with disbeliever for the faith of Allah. So this is something we should know. And as today we are not in there, but we know that nobody called Muawiyah as Khalifa. They all call him Amir. Amir means a leader. But the Khalifa is basically a appointed vicegerent. So Ali radiallahu ta'ala is considered Khalifa. So as all the others in that matter, we are being told then who is wrong, you should not support him. You should try to talk him, reason that person. If they still continue to fight, then you all should come and fight with him until they accept that they are wrong and they bring the peace among them. إنما المؤمنون إخوة فأصلحوا بين أخويكم. Indeed, all Muslims are brothers, and so you should seek reconciliation between them for your two brothers. And wattaqullah, and fear Allah, la'allakum turhamun, so you may have mercy upon it. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is commanding, verse number 11, another thing that how the etiquette's about is, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la yaskhar qawman min qawmin. Do not mock and insult or scoff with the other men and women. They maybe later one is better than the former, but no, you should women scoff the other women. No woman should mock the other woman, because it is very common nature and we all do that. It's the etiquette. We have been taught that Muslims should not disrespect and mock and call names to the other Muslim. We as a young kid have done it. We do it. Still we do it. But as Islam teaches us, respect the other. You see, one thing is very important. When somebody helps another person, and if it does not respect, that becomes hatefulness. No matter, even the person needy will take it, but he will always resent in their heart. And if you have a poor person who is just being spoken kindly, قَوْلٌ مَعْرُوفٌ وَمَغْفِرَةٌ خَيْرٌ مِنْ صَدَقَةٍ يَتْبَعُهَا أَذًى. A kind word is better than a charity followed by insult. And we often think when we do good for others, we mock them, we insult them, we think they are inferior. Actually, they are the helper, because what Allah has given us is tested by having us shared with the others. And do not find fault with one another. We often look for the weakness so that we can control them, nor call one another with bad nicknames. And bad is the name of the sinful for embracing faith. So it is not appropriate when somebody that has become Muslim or is a Muslim, and even non-Muslim, do not mock them, do not name them, do not call them with the insulting, degrading names. If anyone does not repent, then such person will be wrongdoer. So if we have done such thing, we should make istighfar to Allah, and we should ask forgiveness from that person, that friend, brother, Islamic brother, or even non-Muslim. that I did this because of my ignorance, and now I come to realize my faith tells me I should not have done it. I seek a forgiveness, and that person, will forgive us. We should be expecting have hopeful return from that. Listen to another one. They see how many commands are coming in. This is the chapter which I would consider the commands of etiquette, how a Muslim should behave. Let's listen to the verse number 12.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا اجتنبوا كثيرا من الظن إن بعض الظن إثم ولا تجسسوا ولا يغتب بعضكم بعضا أيحب أحدكم أن يأكل لحم أخيه ميتا فكرهتموه واتقوا الله إن الله تواب رحيم.
O you who believe, abstain from many of the suspicions. Some suspicions are sins. And do not be curious to find out faults of others, and do not backbite one another. Does one of you like that he eats the flesh of his dead brother? You would abhor it, and fear Allah. Surely Allah is most relenting, very merciful.
Yeah.
So this is very important verse, and we can speak for hours and hours about it. It just basically touches the human character and behavior. So Allah is saying, oh, you who believe. It's not for everybody, but particularly for the believers. اجتنبوا كثيرا من الظن, and abstain from making assumptions. Zan is that I think you have done something wrong. Suppose like if somebody is not talking. This usually assumption happens when you don't talk. That's why communication is very important in human relation. So if I say salam and you did not reply to me with the salam, and I would say, oh, something is wrong. He doesn't like me, or he does not respect me, or he doesn't care for me, or he is upset with me. So all these things are assumptions that what we make about each other, that, oh, when I didn't talk to a friend or brother or family member, and I'm assuming that person is either jealous of my success or is holding something, does not want to. We do not see that, okay, there may be some problem. There may be something going on in this person's life or head, which is at this moment need a time of relax. So in other words, you visit somebody and that person would ask you why you're here, even though that all the time this person was respectful and kind to you. But this time when you visit, he will say, whoa, what do you want? And all these kind of wordings and this kind of expression we should not assume that this person hates me or doesn't like me or so on and so forth. Rather than that, we should assume that this person might have some problem. So we should be making good assumption about other person. Inna ba'da zanni ismun, and many of the assumptions are sinful. Wala tajassasu, and do not spy on each other. Do not do the investigation unless there is a reason. Wala yaghtab ba'dukum ba'dan, and do not do backbiting. Yaghtam ghibat. There's three things. There's a ghiba, which is backbiting. There is a slandering. There is a accusation, and there is a gossiping, which is spreading the rumors. These are three things are major sin. And gossiping is that you heard something, and as was earlier was told, do not just believe in everything and spread rumors about somebody which came in, and that when somebody comes with a rumor or news, just do not believe it and start spreading. People do it in social media. As we see a lot of fake videos and fake news has been going on, then there are other fact check website you go and verify. So we should be very careful when we spread rumor, especially we do mock and joke about political opponents and families of those people, and the women and children and the wife and the family about that person. There's a very strict thing. We should be, as a Muslim, should not defame person. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that do not backbite, do not slander, do not gossip. So backbite is about that if a person has a real problem and you talk about that problem to other people, not him, and spread about his character assassination. Suppose somebody, you want to spread the rumor that is a drinker or a smoker or does something other un-Islamic. So even though that person doesn't do that, that becomes ghiba, backbiting. Slandering is that you make a false accusation, like the person who does not smoke, and you start spreading rumor that he's a smoker. So if person has and the scholar says, how do you know that is true or not? Just imagine if somebody would have spoken this thing behind your back about you, which you have or you do not have. So how would you feel? So anything which you think should not be done to you, you should not do to the others. And when something comes to you, what do? Sheikh Saadi, once there was a rumor about him, somebody spread about his character. So what he did is he sent him a food basket, and he told that, give the message to this brother that you have shifted all of your good deeds to my account. Means you made an accusation about me which I do not have. So in the day of judgment, all of your deeds will be given to that person, and his sin and all the ill will be transferred to your account.